Hey guys, how's it going? So the point of today's video is we are having a Kage summit. I'm sure you guys could tell by the title of the video, but it's going to be an interesting one. So actually, the title, me and Kato's village, we are going to be waging war against the Mato village, and it might be ugly. You guys might be able to see some PvP in this video, or it might just be a whole video about the Kage summit and kind of our plans after that. But if you guys are new, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. And if you guys want to join this server, all you guys got to do is join the beta. It is $10 to enter. It is linked in the description, and everything that you need is on my Discord. The IP, the link for the mod, everything is there for you. So let's go ahead and drop into today's video. It's going to be a Kage summit, so a lot of RP stuff, a lot of story is going to be made in this video, so you guys will not want to miss it. Let's go ahead and hop in, and I hope you guys enjoy.
All right, gents, this is going to be the first Kage meeting of IceeRamen Prime. So we have quite a few villages here, but we are missing two currently. We're missing the Vortex village, and we're also missing Ryu Kage, but no worries. As far as allies go, Ryu village is now under the land of ancestors with the title village, so we do speak for them whenever we make decisions.
Yep.
So other than that, Vortex, they're just gonna be missing. That being said, what we're gonna do is go around the table, and we're gonna first discuss allyships and who's allied with who, so we can go ahead and clarify that. So, as the title village, I'll start. Title village is going to be allied with the Ryu village. Ramen village being one of our subset villages that we've created and has Draco in charge as the Ramen Kage. And then we do have the Zen village, who we are,
kind of in control of. Yeah.
/ overlooking. So that is our allyships as far as that goes.
Yeah.
If you guys can go around the room, starting, I guess, with whoever wants to start.
On behalf of the Moon Village, as of the moment, since we are still one of the newest villages to pop up, we only are allied with the Mato village at the moment.
Okay.
When we haven't had talks with any of the other villages.
So, I guess, so do all of you guys know collectively how lands and such are going to work, or have you guys not kind of heard about that in one of the videos? Because we can explain that now, because this is the first Kage meeting, so you guys kind of know what's going on.
I could definitely go for a overview of that.
Okay, so I'll explain a little bit, and then whatever I miss, I'll have Kato explain. So basically what a land is going to be is... There's a first of all, there's a few requirements. So you have to have 3 villages that you have, either built yourselves like we did with the Ramen village, or had somebody else found a village and then they want to become a part of your land. For example, us with the Ryu. So if you don't do it that way, well, wait, that's actually, you have to do it that way, but you need 3 of those. And then to become official, you need to conquer a village. So with us, we've technically conquered the Zen, but we didn't do it through a war. So that's why we're kind of the first unofficial land, being the land of ancestors, because we didn't technically beat them in a war. So we have to beat someone in a war before we get that technical, land of ancestors. So I guess the point of what a land is getting daimyos. So once we have our land, me and Kato are most likely going to go to daimyo position, which means that we basically look over all of the villages that are in that land, and we can charge them taxes, be to be a part of this land and have all of our protection and war and all that. It's going to cost you 1 DNA a day, just for example. And then, wars will break out between lands. People will, certain villages will be removed from lands, stuff like that. There's positives and negatives to being in a land, but it really depends on who is running stuff. So, I think that there's a few things that Kato explained in the last video. You guys haven't seen the last video yet, so it makes sense why you're asking. But Kato Kato has some other points about, you know, being in a land, so I'll let him kind of clear the rest up for you guys.
As far as like being in a land consists of, you know, there are like possibilities for those people within that land, meaning the villages can separate from that land if they choose to do so. That being said, you know, if Zen, for example, was like, hey, you know, we don't want to be under you guys anymore. We want to be separate. We want to be free. Or maybe, you know, the maids start a village, and start a land, and then the Zen village are like, well, we want to be under the maids. They can go and start a civil war, and with a civil war, they can launch, you know, basically like a war between the main village of that land and them. And if they win that, then that means they can go ahead and proceed to leave that land.
Right. Because like if you're not liking paying that tax, which most likely every land is going to set up a tax for villages that are within them, because there's a lot of positives that you get with being in a land. But you know, obviously there's a point to have a land, you know, so you might not like the tax that one land gives, and you might want to join another land, even though that land might not be as good. It's less of a tax on your village right now as a Kage. You know, you're like, all right, we gotta do what's best for our villagers. Our villagers are mad at, you know, keeping up with the taxes of this land. Let's leave it. So like Kato said, you'll have like a civil war basically to become independent, and it's gonna be really cool. There's gonna be a lot of different things. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to see the comments of what the last video said. At the time of you guys watching this, I asked the viewers, you know, if they had any ideas of how people could join or leave lands, or how the taxes and like wars between people within that land would work. So I haven't seen that yet. But we're gonna come up with like a bunch of stuff, and we'll probably add to it as we go along. Obviously, because you know, we don't know. We don't know certain situations until they happen, is I guess how I could explain it best. But so yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Uzu, you were the one that was kind of like asking for the explanation, so I don't know if you did a good job or not. But
if anyone on the table themselves has questions, please
Yeah.
feel free.
Yeah.
I think I understand it.
Would it be possible to conquer villages from other unofficial lands and say it's your own?
Yes.
lands.
So, do you mean unofficial lands or unofficial villages?
And like, say how yours is unofficial, I could just like take Ryu from you, for example.
Yeah, you'd have to win it through a war though. So to win, or are you talking about to take it from our land?
Land.
Okay.
I'm guessing y'all are gonna do that soon.
Right. So technically, to take it from our land, they're gonna have to basically agree to it, because that's tricky. So I see what you're saying. So we're gonna have to figure out how the wars will work.
So I think for that, and you know, sorry for cutting you off, Ice, but I
Yeah.
think the best way to do that would be either one, they want to succeed, or you want to take it. So
Mhm.
those two are the like reasoning. So remember when I said you have to have a reason to call a Kage summit to start a war?
Yeah.
That would be a reasoning. So if the Ryu village wants to you know, leave, and they tell Ame that I want to leave, we want you to help us or whatever, then at that point, then a war could be launched, and the
Mhm.
maid village would have to fight us. And what would
Right.
happen is it would be over the Ryu village. So we would
Would it be
warring
against the
over-
Ryu, or would it technically be over the highest village in that land, which would be
Well,
the title for us?
It depends. If the Ryu village is trying to leave the land of ancestors and join something, then the whoever they're joining has to fight for them.
Right. Okay.
That way, it's a one-on-one between two villages.
Yeah.
If they're trying to be independent and leave the land altogether and just be independent, then they have to fight us.
Right. Then they have to fight the parent. We should probably call it something like the parent village of that land, which would be like title for us, because it's our top village, right?
Right.
Founding village.
Right. Founder village. Yeah, that works too. Yeah. So again, for that specific thing, how that would work is to make sure that we're on the same page. If you were trying to take that from us, like get them to join your land, I think that you would have to beat them directly, right, Kato? That's how that would work.
If you're trying to take it from us, they have
Yeah.
to fight the parent.
Right. Oh, they would have to fight us.
So Maid Village, if they're trying to take the Ryu Village from us, they'd have to fight Title.
Right, to make it completely their land. Right. Okay.
Right. And because the war would be the reasoning for a war. So
Right.
if they win, obviously they get what they were going for the war.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. It's really gonna be very dependent on stuff because technically the Ryu isn't a parent land, right? But they can still, like, say that the Ryu wants to go to war against the moon to control their village. That can still kind of happen, right?
Yeah.
But it's not for like taking them to a whole different land. It's just village versus village. Technically, which eventually, obviously, if the Ryu being a part of the land of ancestors and they took Moon, most likely Moon would fall under the land of ancestors. We would just, obviously have to have a meeting with the Kage of both, stuff like that. It's going to be complicated, but we'll figure it out, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Did you say that the land of ancestors is official, or no?
We need to win a war first, and then yes. It's the last step that we need. We need to take a village in a war. Which it sucks because we could have took Zen, but there's not enough Zen people on. So technically, if we were to declare war against Zen, and they either refused or lost, if they refused, then we still get their land. So it depends. It depends on what happens, but we'll see.
As far as the tax stuff goes, what's enforcing them to pay the taxes? Like, what would be the consequence? Of just being
War,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, no, I'm okay."
Yeah, war basically.
And for example, if you wanted to go to, like, say, like, the Moon controlled Zen, right?
Mhm.
I'm sorry for using Zen over and over again, but they're the smallest village currently.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to like take Zen, or like have Zen come, like, or they own Zen and Zen wanted to I'm sorry, what was the question again?
It was like what's like preventing them from just like villages in your land? What's preventing them from just saying no to paying taxes?
Then you take them to war, and if you beat them in a war, then they're not a village anymore.
So
I
it's
mean-
basically they either hand it over willingly or you take it forcefully.
Yeah, basically. I mean, just ask Zen how it went with Cray, for example. that's the best example that we can give, is like you'll get bullied, and either you accept a war or you just get bullied and lose some stuff, basically. Either one is not good. So, you might as well just like kind of just accept
you're
it.
You're either starting from scratch or just handing over a little bit by bit.
Yeah, you can be forced to be in the land as well. Like if we basically like go to Ryu, like for example, if we go to Ryu, they wanted to join us, but say that they didn't, we could go there and basically just bully them and be like, we're gonna keep doing this unless you just literally pay this tax and be a part of our land.
Yeah.
So either way, it's just gonna be something fun to do instead of just like every village is just kind of like involved with themselves. The lands adds a really cool dynamic to like just situations, and it's gonna force a lot of wars and a lot of RP, which is our main goal from it, obviously.
So Kato, so say like the village that we have now, which is the Warp Moon, that's like my founding village. And then that cavern underneath is like, once it's finished, would be a second village. Is that what would count as a second village?
If it meets the requirements, yeah.
So it's like it has the Police HQ,
Right.
Academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had to open up the Moon, right? But you had to get what? You had to get these three different buildings I asked for.
Yeah.
You had to get a Kage, you had to get advisors, and you had to get 10 people, right?
Mhm.
Same thing if you want like a village that's not your main village. Like with Ramen, we put Draco in control. He chose advisors, and he got 10 people.
Yeah.
Boom, he's a village.
Okay.
And he
So
got
it's
the
like
3 buildings.
we need to have another 10 people on top of that.
Correct, different people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's a
Okay.
whole different 10 people.
Okay. Cool. 'Cause
Lands
it's
are a
technically
lot of
different
people.
village.
Yeah.
It's technically a different village name too.
Right.
I get you. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand it now.
And then, you know, there's going to be like certain warp permissions, but again, I haven't posted that video, so I haven't gotten to see people's reaction to what I asked. So I kind of want to wait until we go into like the warp permissions between each village and stuff like that. But I think we should keep going around the table now, since we covered that, and kind of go over the allies. And you know, I guess technically if you guys want to talk amongst each other, like so how the moon was allied with the maid, I believe you said, if you guys want to, like, you know, if you're trying to make your own land and they're trying to make their own land, that's what's going to be interesting. Like, who, if you guys want to be with each other in a land or whatnot. So we could like have you guys discuss that here as well, if you guys want.
It'd be something I need to put into some thought too, because there's some stuff I'm wanting to look around. I'm still trying to explore a bit around the island we're on now, but it definitely wouldn't be a bad idea. It would definitely increase our strength a bit. The only thing that would come into mind is who would be in control. I feel like that could cause some implications.
We can do a friendly little fight for that one.
I feel like it would come into a matter of power between the villages, and that could definitely hurt an alliance.
Right. That's what's cool. Like, even though you guys are allied, it's gonna be like, that's gonna come up a lot and be like, why don't you just join our land? No. Well, then we're just gonna take your. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really cool to see.
It's gonna be a fight for power.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool. Yeah.
I can brute force it if you want me to. I can do that.
You're just trying to cut off. You're just trying to cut off an alliance already. Okay.
You know I can. That's
you're trying to blackmail me. Is what I'm getting.
I mean, you know what I'm capable of.
All right.
Not yet.
All right. So let's go on to I believe the ramen. If the Kage wants to say like who they're allied with, I forget. Kato, what exactly did you ask them? Who they're allied with and stuff like that?
Ships.
Yeah. Okay. So like Ramen Kage can go.
We allies with Tata right now and Rio, so we're gonna form the land of ancestors.
Okay.
Yes,
so we're gonna be part of y'all land.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So
now, I don't really got any problems with anyone right now. Well, not with Moon. Made a little bit, but we're just chilling right now.
Right. So it's gonna be cool too, because like how he just said, you know, they have a problem with Maid but not Moon. If Moon falls under the land of Maid, they might get bullied because they're in the land that Maid's in, because they would be technically the weaker village. They're the easier target for Ramen. But to get at Maid, you know what I mean? It's gonna be really cool to see. It's gonna be so much fun.
You not only pick up their allies, but you pick up their enemies too.
Right. Exactly. It's gonna be so cool. All right.
In response to that, what's stopping them from taking you? You're just a small village.
Right.
You don't have people to protect you.
Well, the ramen has the title to protect them.
Well, yeah, but does Uzu have anyone besides allies? If
right. Exactly.
Die by request.
Exactly. That's the thing. And that's when he would be like, all right, we're getting attacked by Maid. What if we they would like contact me and Kato, be like, what if we come to the land of ancestors where you guys back us up? You know what I mean? It's gonna be so cool to see progress, and it's gonna be like,
if that's the case, then you would be fighting us.
Right, basically, because it would be land versus land, right? It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be so dope. I hope the people watching are excited, because I am. I know it's gonna be like a couple days until something happens. All right, next Kage, which is Cutie, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, obviously for now, depending on their response, is Moon. I have recently contacted the Vortex, and they have agreed to an allyship in what is the word? Well, also, the Zen has asked for an allies as well, and I have accepted.
Okay, so you guys are getting the opposites of us, basically.
That would meet the requirements of 3 allies.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're seeing here is the Maid Village. You guys are trying to make your own land, aren't you?
Simply.
Okay. Okay, so I guess that comes to me and Kato then.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to war for the Zen village again, I guess, since
Do
if
it.
that's what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
So Maid Village versus Title.
Hmm.
Yep. I'm fine with that.
Now as far as concerning how that's gonna work, the the ins and outs of that, what considers a win and stuff like that,
Right.
we'll come to a different, we'll talk about it amongst staff and stuff like that and iron it out so it's fair.
Hmm. Because
But
technically, the Zen wants to be their own village. This is just a pure land obstruction.
Yes.
So there's like two different types of wars. That's why this is going to be interesting, because say that we take control of Zen, or we win Zen, right? Or the maid wins Zen. They might not like, the Kage might not like being in their land, but technically it's in their land, so either us or them would have the power to revoke that Kage position and put in somebody else there as Kage.
Don't worry, Ando, you're not gonna be Kage once we win.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, I know. I see that coming. It's okay.
I have no problem with it.
no offense.
Yeah, but
Um,
if I win in a war against you guys, doesn't that make my requirement to become a land official?
Yeah. So this would literally be for whoever's the first official land.
So this is the war for the land then.
Yeah,
the first
pretty much.
All right. Well, good.
Now I have a question. Is it just you two villages fighting, or you're gonna have help from allies?
I believe
It's gonna us too.
It's
Because
just us two, the parent
problem with
villages.
that is, in the past, when we allow allies, the numbers either skew one way or the other.
Yeah.
All right, makes
Um,
sense.
It would be like 5 villages versus 1. But eventually, once lands become more established, it's possible that we can do complete land on complete land, but it depends on what it's for, I guess. Like, because obviously, if they're trying to take Ryu from us, right? Like, Ryu wants to be a part of the land of ancestors, then I feel like it should be complete land on complete land. But we'll have to go over those exact rules too. We have to do what makes the most sense. Oh yeah, the Zen. What are you guys allied with anybody?
Just trying to ally with the maid village and come to the heart of the land. That's all it is right now.
Okay. Okay, so this will be really interesting actually, because we're trying to conquer you guys and you want to be a part of them. So this will be awesome. This is gonna be a fun war. Fun first war on the server. It'll be fun.
That being said, as far as like war going, there's gonna be some like things considered war crimes.
Yeah. I think that is good for the Kage Summit, guys. Thank you all for coming. And Mado Village, we'll be seeing you guys soon.
You will.
Yeah, so you guys can, go ahead and get up on out of here, out of the title, and I'm gonna go back to working.
We will talk about everything soon.
All right. All right, so unfortunately right now, Minecraft servers are kind of dying for some reason, but Kato and Cray are still both here in the call. We kind of want to go over, what happened in that meeting. Hopefully you guys are still watching this video. I know it's probably, it's a lot of RP, a lot of going over rules and stuff for wars, but hopefully you guys can give some feedback in the comments too. I know that there's a lot of you guys that care about that stuff. Some of you guys don't. Hopefully you guys liked it, but Cray, what do you think about the Zen village? I mean, it's really, I think that it's worth going to war over, don't you?
I think it is. It's in a pretty good place. I like how it looks, and I really thought that I was already gonna just take it anyway, so might as well take it again.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Kato, are you really that confident about us winning against Mado, Kato?
I mean, I don't see where they have somebody that can beat me.
Yeah. I mean, as long as I can get my steel before the war, we'll have like a day or two to prepare, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that, like, we just have to iron out the stuff.
Yeah, we gotta iron out the rules. I want to see how people react to this video as well. Hopefully they, come up with some good stuff in the comments too.
What was I about to say though? I mean, at the end of the day, this is not even a war for Zen at this point. It's a war to become a land.
To become a land, right? We got, dude, land of ancestors. We can't be losing. We need this.
How are we gonna be the land of ancestors when the second land to be?
I know,
put
right?
up?
Exactly. We just gotta make the lore lore correct. All right, we just gotta win. Simply, just win.
Right.
All right, but this has been.
I think.
What?
I was about to say. I think if we get rid of their Kage, and then we get rid of the Vortex Kage, those two are probably the strongest ones they got.
Right. That's true.
Draco's been beaten 0 in a 1v1.
Yeah.
Katana Kitten's weak.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, it's been a long video, guys, a long lore video, so I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to see more, and not to say too much, but there is going to be a lot of cool stuff coming to the server, and I hope that you guys are hyped for it, because this, I guess, quote-unquote, season of beta, or series of beta, is nowhere near what the full release is going to be once we start actual like server lore. There's been no server lore. This is just all player lore. So I hope you guys are hyped for that. Drop a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.